A woman in a wedding dress is buried in the ground up to her chest. Her husband picks up a stone and hurls it at her. Then her father does the same. Next, her own son. Finally, the entire village joins in. This is stoning, a punishment reserved for women accused of adultery. The woman was actually framed by her husband. Her name was Soraya. At just 13, her father sold her to this man. For over a decade, Soraya had been a devoted wife and mother, bearing him 2 sons and 2 daughters while managing their household with care. Yet despite her dedication, her husband regularly beat her. The man worked as a prison guard in town. One day, a death row inmate approached him with an offer. "Help me escape my sentence, and I'll give you my 14-year-old daughter as a wife. No bride price required." While polygamy was permitted here, the guard couldn't afford to support 2 wives on his salary. So he went to the village chief, asking him to convince Soraya to agree to a divorce. His terms were simple. He'd keep the sons, she'd take the daughters, plus half an acre of land. But how could a woman possibly feed 2 children with just half an acre? Soraya refused without hesitation. When her husband heard this, he flew into a rage. He berated her in front of their sons. When Soraya dared to talk back, her eldest son, before his father could even speak, stood up and denounced her. Furious, Soraya smashed a plate. Her reward was another brutal beating before being thrown out of the house. Desperate, Soraya sought help from her aunt. As it happened, the village elder needed someone to help care for a man named John, and Soraya seemed perfect for the job. But on her very first day, when she handed John something, their hands accidentally touched. Her husband, watching from a distance, saw it all. A sinister plan began to take shape in his mind. He conspired with the village chief to corner John, threatening to have his mentally disabled son thrown in prison unless John confessed to having an affair with Soraya. To protect his son, John had no choice but to agree. The accusation sent shockwaves through the village. The chief quickly summoned Soraya to hear her side, then brought John in for a face-to-face confrontation. Under threat from her husband, John reluctantly repeated his false accusations. According to their religious law, when a husband accuses his wife of infidelity, the burden falls on her to prove her innocence. But how could Soraya possibly defend herself against charges that never happened? All she could do was wait at home in despair for her fate to be decided. Meanwhile, all the men of the village gathered to pass judgment. They unanimously declared Soraya guilty, including her own father.